meeting today, I have been asked to share with you the difficult but important story of Charlie Scott, who died in 1908. We don't have absolute proof that he was buried here, but this was the only cemetery for black people in Conroe until the mid 1920s. Charlie's father, Sam, is buried here, so it's highly likely that Charlie is buried in one of the over 300 unidentified graves marked with short black unknown pillars in this Conroe Community Cemetery. In February 1908, Charlie Scott was just 15 years, 5 months old, and he suffered from intellectual disability, what people in his 7th Street Conroe neighborhood referred to as being feeble. On the morning of February 26, Charlie Scott was seen by Mr. Willett, a neighbor to the alleys across the street. Mr. Willett was instantly suspicious of why Charlie was near the alleys house, but the boy left without making any trouble. The next morning, Mr. Willett saw Charlie again, climbing over the same neighbor's back fence and approaching the house. The neighbor knew that Mr. Alley was gone on business and leaving his wife and 4 children alone at home. Willett then heard Mrs. Alley call out in a frightened voice. Charlie was apparently frightened as well by Mrs. Alley, and he quickly turned to run away, but he ran right into Mr. Willett's waiting arms. Mr. Willett asked Mrs. Alley if the boy attempted anything wrong, but she answered no. And since the boy was well known locally for what she called mental infirmities, she said it would be best if they just let him go. Later in the day, however, Mr. Willett went to the Justice of the Peace and swore out a warrant for Charlie Scott, charging him with attempted criminal assault. But the sheriff and the deputy could not find him to make the arrest. Yet at 8 o'clock that evening, the frightened boy had been seen at a local hotel, looking for his grandmother, who was a cook there. The lawmen didn't find him, but the lynch mob did. On the morning of 29 February 1908, as the people in downtown Conroe left their houses and passed nearby the jail and the courthouse, they were shocked by the horrific spectacle of a black boy's body hanging from an elm tree, 15 feet above the ground. It was Charlie Scott. A morning breeze caused the body to sway while a sign dangled from his feet. The scrawled lettering on the sign read, "This is a warning to all Negroes who are caught prowling around white folks' homes." The despicable deed had been done in the dead of night. The newspapers pointed out no noise was made, no shots were fired, and nothing was known of the lynching, save by those taking part. Charlie's parents, poor and stunned by their sudden loss, had to get their son's body buried at the only place in town available for black burials. Somewhere on these grounds, Charlie Scott was hastily buried, and 15 years later, his father was also buried in this cemetery, perhaps close by his son, Charlie. In a cemetery that had once been forgotten, it is important to learn about the many unknown who were laid here to rest. Young Charlie Scott was an inherently innocent soul who ran into evil, bigotry, and lawlessness. Today, let us bury wickedness and remember the innocent and the forgotten. Thank you.